Welcome to tutorial 16, and sorry for the slight delay since tutorial 15, but I've just taken my family on a short trip to Phang Nga province in southern Thailand. It's a very beautiful province with lots of beaches and limestone karsts, and it's not quite as busy as some other tourist resorts. There are tourists, but there aren't an excessive amount, and that was also really quite nice. I'd like to tell you that I'm all refreshed now after my trip, but unfortunately that's not quite the case. It was a lot of work to get ready for the trip, and on the trip I drove probably 1,000 kilometres or more, and I really don't enjoy driving in Thailand because the roads are so dangerous. It really stresses me out. And since getting back, it's been very busy. It's been constantly washing clothes, and it's taken about 3 days to get back to normality. Today's tutorial will be quite straightforward. I'll just be looking at the consonants that make P and F sounds, and quite easy to remember. 4 of the consonants, 1, 2, 3, 4, have a sort of basic English W shape. If there's a long tail on the right hand side, they make an F sound. If they don't have that long tail, they make a P sound. And if the little loop is in the inside, on the inside, they're high class. And if the loop is on the outside, they're low class. And the other one is here, and you just need to be a little bit careful. In the last tutorial, when we did T sounds, we looked at a character called Tor Tung. They've got the basic Gorgai shape, but the Tor Tung, the T character, has got the little loop inside. And if the loop is on the outside, it makes a P sound. That's the only thing to be careful of. Now, the easy thing is that they all make a P sound as a final consonant. So easy to remember. The rather strange thing is that although there are a lot of Thai words that end with a P sound, very few actually use these consonants. What you'll normally find is that for words ending with a P sound, the final consonant will be one of these 2 characters. And that leads to some problems in transliteration. As you know, I'm not a great fan of transliteration, and it leads to many problems. This character here makes a B sound as an initial consonant, and a P sound as a final consonant. But lots of transliteration systems don't take that into account. If we look at a word like this, we just have a Gorgai and a Bo Bai Mai. I'll cover this consonant fairly soon. So here we have a G sound consonant, and here this one is now a final consonant, so it should be a P sound. There's no written vowel, so we have to add an implied vowel, and it sounds something like gop, which is the Thai word for frog. But in the transliteration systems that don't take this into account, they will tell you that it's gob, and it's not gob, because a B final consonant sound doesn't exist in Thai. It's gop. And there are a few other transliteration problems with these characters. This is why I hate transliteration so much. And whenever possible, I just want to see the word or the name written in Thai so I can read it directly, and I don't have to deal with all this transliteration nonsense. But what you'll often find for the P consonants is that they are translated as PH, which makes an F sound in English, so that can be confusing. And another very strange thing, I'm not quite sure why this is that sometimes these P consonants are transliterated as BH. I just don't know why this is, and again it's very confusing because they make P sounds, not B sounds, and I'm not even sure what a BH is supposed to be. But all you need to remember is they make P and F sounds as initial consonants, and they all make P sounds as final consonants. So what I'll do now, I'll get Pom in the usual manner to give you the correct pronunciation of the names of these consonants, and then we'll go through some sample words. I'll briefly explain the basic sound and the tone rules, and again Pom will give you the correct pronunciation. First of all, we'll just go through the names of these new consonants. The first one,
พอพาน
that means tray in English.
ผอพึ่ง
That one means bee.
พอสำเภา
That one is a Chinese junk, as in a big Chinese style boat.
ฟอฟัน
That means teeth or tooth. There are no singular and plural nouns in Thai. It's just one word for singular and plural.
ฝอฝา
And that one means lid. So next we'll do some sample words. Here we have one of the new consonants. You see it's the basic English W shape, and there's a long tail on this side, so it's an F consonant. And then we have the long R vowel afterwards and no final consonant. And there's also a second tone mark.
ฟ้า ฟ้า ฟ้า
That's the Thai word for sky. And the tone rule, we have this is a low class consonant, and we have the second tone mark. And the tone rule for that combination is a high tone. Well, this one is very similar, but you should have noticed that with this consonant, it has the little loop on the inside, so it's not the same as the previous word.
ฝา ฝา ฝา
Okay, so it's the same basic sound. We've got an F initial consonant and a long R, but a different tone. What you should have heard then is when Pom was saying the word, it had a rising tone. It sort of went up at the end. That's because this consonant is high class, and it's a live syllable, and for that combination we get a rising tone. This next word is a very well-known tourist destination in Thailand. Okay, we have the poor sampao consonant, then the long oo vowel written underneath. That's the first syllable. The next syllable, the initial consonant, is the gorgai. And when you see the Sara A and the Maitaku written together, that just makes like an English E sound. And the final consonant is Do Tao, which makes a T sound as a final consonant.
ภูเก็ต ภูเก็ต ภูเก็ต
I think everyone will know that place. The tone rules for the first syllable, we have a low class initial consonant, and it's a live syllable, so it just makes a mid tone. And the second syllable, we have a mid class initial consonant. It's a dead syllable because it ends with a T sound. Anything that ends with a P, K or T is a dead syllable. And this is actually a short vowel. So a mid-class initial consonant, dead syllable, short vowel makes a low class, makes a low tone. On to the next word. So this consonant, you see like the basic W shape, but there's no long tail, so it just makes a P sound. And written above it, we have the long E vowel and the first tone mark.
P, P, P.
Now, this word is used very, very commonly in Thailand. And we also start getting into the quite complex subjects of pronouns in Thailand. And well, it seems to be quite rude in Thailand just to address someone using their name. Thais always use some form of address before a name. And my wife uses this one a lot. It means older, someone who's older. And as she's the youngest of 8, she has 7 older brothers and sisters, and most of her friends are older too. So virtually everyone she knows, she uses this prefix before their name. And when I'm talking to her, I will use this word as a pronoun for myself. The male pronoun pom is a bit formal between husband and wife, and this is a less formal one. But I'll probably do a tutorial later on about pronouns in Thai, because it is quite a complicated subject. I'll just get Pom to say that for you again.
P, P, P.
And what you should have heard then is that as she says it, the tone falls away at the end. It's a falling tone. We've got a low-class initial consonant, and we're using the first tone mark. And when you see that combination, it's a falling tone. The next word has the same basic sound, but a different tone. So again, we've got this basic English W shape. It hasn't got a long tail, so it's a P sound, but the loop is on the inside, as opposed to the previous word, which used the other P consonant. And we've got the long E vowel, but we've got no tone mark.
P, P, P.
And what you should have heard then is that as Pom says it, the tone goes up at the end. It's a rising tone. We have a high class initial consonant, and it's a live syllable. And if you look up the tone rule for that, it's a rising tone. And that word means ghost in Thais. And most Thais have quite a big fear of ghosts. On to the next one. This has a P sound as an initial and a final consonant. So we've got the poor sampao initial consonant, then the long R vowel, then the poor pan final consonant, which still makes a P sound.
ภาพ ภาพ ภาพ
And that word means picture. And the tone rules, we've got a low class initial consonant. It's a dead syllable because it ends with a P sound. Remember, anything that ends with a P, K or T sound is dead. And this is a long vowel. So when you look up the tone rule for a low class initial consonant, dead syllable, long vowel, you get a falling tone. The next two words are also a similar basic sound, but they have a different spelling and different tone.
ฟัน ฟัน ฟัน
That word means teeth or tooth in Thai. And the tone rule, we have a low class initial consonant. As it ends with an N sound, it's actually a live syllable. So a low class initial consonant and a live syllable makes just a mid tone. And on to the next word, which is very, very similar, but so you hear the tone is different. So here you will see that F consonant now has the loop on the inside, which is the high class consonant.
ฝัน ฝัน ฝัน
And you should hear that when Pom says it, it rises at the end. And this word means dream in Thai. So it's the same basic sound as the word for tooth, but a different tone. And the tone rule, we have the high class initial consonant. Again, it's a live syllable because it ends with an N sound. And a high class initial consonant and a live syllable makes a rising tone. So I hope that was quite straightforward and easy to understand. And we'll be back again soon for tutorial 17.